Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel again. This is Cloud Institution. So today we are going to see one of the AWS series, which is the real-time interview question on checking SSH connectivity in EC2. Okay, so today we are going to see so how to check the SSH connectivity if the SSH port is enabled in security group or not. So let's dive into the question now. The question is, I'm unable to SSH into my EC2 instance. Okay, so how to check if the SSH port is enabled or not without logging into the AWS console? So the question here is very straightforward. Okay, I wanted to check whether my SSH is enabled or not for my EC2 instance, but I should not be able to. No, I don't have access to my AWS console, for example. I will not be able to SSH no, log into my AWS console, but I wanted to see whether my EC2 instance has SSH port enabled in security group or not. How it is possible? First of all, if you want to check, you have a public IP address of the EC2 instance. I wanted to check whether the IP address that the system is having enabled with port or not. So the only one way is that we have to log into the AWS console. We can just go to security group and then we can check that. Okay, so for example, I'm giving you an option to think. So is there any other way that we can check whether my SSH port is added in the security group or not? Any guesses? Right. So there is no guesses, right? So this is the interview, really important interview questions. The interviewer will try to check whether you have a Linux knowledge and AWS knowledge and security knowledge. How do you secure the connectivity, all this stuff, right? The answer for this question will be okay, install telnet and test the port number against the IP address of the EC2 instance, okay, to check whether it is working or not. For example, so if you wanted to check whether your security group enabled with the port 22, if you're able to connect with the SSH port or not. So if you wanted to do that one, you need to do the telnet. You have to install telnet and you have to test the connectivity. Then you should be able to understand whether your with SSH has been enabled in security group or not. Let's see this scenario in demo. Okay, so I'm going into the AWS console. Okay, so I don't have any running instances now I'm going to launch instance. Okay, my instance is getting launched. So the instance name will be Cloud Institution. Okay, and the telnet, for example, I'm just mentioning like that, and I'm using Amazon Linux image, and then I'm using that t2.micro, which is free tier eligible. So I'm going to give a key pair, Cloud Institution key, and then I'm going to enable SSH, SSH from anywhere. Okay, so I'm going to allow my SSH port to connect anywhere um, from the internet. Okay, so this is what something which I've enabled. So now then I'm going to launch instance. Okay, so I'm going to click on launch instance. Okay, my instance is launched. Now as you can see, my instance is running now. So I'm going to check whether I'm able to SSH into this machine or not. Okay, for that I'm going to click on this one. I'm going to click on connect. Okay, click on connect. Okay, it's establishing connection. Now meanwhile, let's go back to the, okay, yeah, it's connected, right? So I'm able to SSH into this machine, so there is no issues with this. Now I'm going back here and I'm going to check what is the public IP address of this machine. Okay, this is a public IP address, and also meanwhile I'm going and checking whether the SSH port is enabled in security group or not. Okay, so now I'm going back to my Visual Studio Code. I'm going to do a telnet and then IP address of this machine, and then I'm going to give 22 port. So as you can see here, surprisingly, it's just connecting to EC2. This is the host name of this machine. Okay, if you wanted to clarify it, you just go and if you can go and search it over here in the details. It will show you the host name of this machine. Um, okay, this is the host name of this machine. Okay, is be able to select it, right? So this host name. So this is working fine. Now, as you can see here, it is telling that it's been connected to 22 port, so that this port has been enabled. Now, okay, so now I just exit from the connection. Now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to security group. I'm going to edit inbound rules, and I'm going to delete this one. Okay, save rules. So at the moment when I do this one, if I can go back to the console and if I can do here, so you can see this particular port number is not been able to connect to your instances. So which means that you will not be able to connect to this particular instance using SSH, because SSH port is not been enabled using in the security groups. Okay, and there is one more another thing is that we can go back here and then if we can enable it, we can add the SSH port, SSH connectivity port, and then 0000. Okay, good, and save rules. Now I've enabled the security group, the SSH port in the security group. Okay, so now I'm going back and I'm doing it again. Boom, it's working fine, right? So this is how we'll be checking the SSH port has been enabled or not. Okay, but one more another thing. Okay, so for example, what if I go and stop the SSH service in Linux in my system itself? Okay, for example, but please don't try this one, because after doing this one you will not be able to connect to this machine. Okay, so now I'm going to do sudo su. Okay, ifn. So I'm going to stop the SSH service. Okay, systemctl stop SSHD. Okay, right now as you can see here, this is able to connect it. Okay, now let's see if I'm able to, after stopping this SSHD service, will I be able to connect it or not? Okay, so it'll take some time to so let's just check the status of this. Okay, it is inactive. So now let's go back and check. Okay, it's unable to connect. Okay, telnet connection to this connection refused. But whenever we are trying to, the port was not open in the security groups, it was just still trying. Okay, but this is port SSH service was working, but now it's just giving some other error because the SSH port itself is not been available. Okay, nothing, no, none of the services available in the EC2. Okay, so what I'm going to do before I'm just exit out of this one, I'm going to start the service. Okay, start assisted SSD. Now I'm able to connect to this one. So yeah, so this is how you will be able to connect to your the port number to telnet. But if you're not installed telnet in your machine, please go and install telnet. With this one, you should be able to check whether any of the port number, okay, not only 22 or any of the port number is enabled and the service is there or not. Okay, so that's it from this video. I hope this video was really helpful for you in terms of preparing your examination, right? So examination or interview or anything else. So so if you get this kind of a real-time questions from the interviewer, please be ready to answer with a proper way. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. I hope you like this video. If you like this video, please comment, share, and subscribe to our channel. Okay, if you have any questions and if you want to take courses with us, please reach out to us on this number. Okay, see you again in the next video.